Hey, this is Getting Real with Hillary, and I am going to try to explain how I turned two relationships from very bad to amazing. So, one was with my ex-husband. And if you've heard any of my prior videos, you know that I have not wanted him around because it wasn't pleasant for me, and I felt mean saying that. So I would avoid him, I would do all sorts of stuff. And my son finally spoke up and said, okay, he thinks he's invited over and you think he's not. There's a disconnect. Deal with it. He didn't quite say it like that, but he was saying what can't be said because it was bothering him. So I thanked him and I picked up the phone and I said, look, I don't want you here because it's unpleasant for me. And what we got to after working through it for quite a long time was that the way he was listening to me was, and he had said this, I'm that I was just always going to be upset about something, so it didn't matter what he did. Now, I was upset when I was upset, but him listening to me that way made me upset. So he got what he was looking for was nothing I can do. She's just always going to be upset. So if I asked him to shut the screen doors or take his shoes off, this is my place now, I don't live with him anymore, he would just be a certain way that would make me mad because he was listening to me as if that's just who I was. So I don't know if this makes sense, but it was irritating to me and it actually had me be upset. So he was right, and he got to be right. So also what it did during our marriage was he figured since I was going to be upset anyway, he didn't need to tell me anything. He didn't need to tell me what he was doing. He didn't tell me decisions he was making. And why should he? I was going to be upset anyway. That was his logic. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you. It doesn't make sense to me in terms of being a human being, someone who's married to someone that they promise to love and honor and respect. But that's just what happened. So yesterday we distinguished that listening, and I said, that's why I don't want you around, because I don't want to be listened to like I'm just some kind of always upset person who's very difficult. And I look like the bitch because I was literally like, I would say, can you please shut the screen door? Well, why should he? I'm going to be upset anyway. That was his attitude. And that's what got on me. And it was something about not being respected, not being listened to, and being interacted with like I was that kind of person. And I told him yesterday, I said, that's not who I am. And I request that you listen to me a different way and not be an asshole. I said, you want to be invited? When the kids are here or whatever, stop being an asshole. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm having my mother over and stuff, who he knows, and my son. And after that, I was okay having him here. Just by having said that. I think that's wild. I really think that's wild. And then another person, a friend of mine, we were about to have a fight. And I said, how would you like this to go? Do you want to end up in a fight? Or do you want to end up with affinity and love? And he picked affinity and love. So all of a sudden, instead of the defensiveness and the fight, we got to listen from the other person's point of view I said, look, I'm sorry if I said this that triggered you yesterday. And he was sorry for saying what he said when he was triggered. But I didn't want to leave it in a fight because I care about this person. And so by saying that, after I had had the talk with my ex, by seeing what the listening does, I decided to listen to him instead of, an angry asshole as one of my best friends. And that's how it turned out. So you get to choose how you want to listen to the person. And do you want to be right about whatever you say about them? So I could be right about my son. He never follows through with anything. Want to make sure he's not coming in. He doesn't follow through. He's got good intentions. And that's sort of the way I've been listening to him. But he said, Mom, you don't have any faith in me, do you? And I was like, sure I do. But I wasn't listening to him like that. So I said, okay, you can count on me to empower you. I believe in you. I won't, he's tried a few things lately and not continued with them. I said, I will let go that means something about you, and that I will empower you in what you're doing next. Because I know you can be successful in whatever you continue to do. If he quits, I can't empower that. But I can empower him if he's going for something. And there have been certain places where he does and certain places where he doesn't. And I just read a book for my pen book club called Range, and it talks about successful people and the different paths that they took. And it's very interesting. Some tried 15 things before they ended up falling into science and getting the Nobel Prize. And some, like Roger Federer's rise was very different than Tiger Woods. He started later, whereas Tiger Woods was a child prodigy. So it's very interesting that there's not one way. And I think that sometimes, at least for me, I think, well, there's a certain path, and if he doesn't follow it, if he doesn't follow through, then he's not going to follow through on anything. And that's not true. So I am going to alter my listening of him and just notice where I have a negative listening of people and see if I can change it. So that's what's available in terms of relationships. If you want to have a great one, try it out, see if it works. And this is Getting Real with Hillary. Don't forget my website, gettingrealwithhillary.com, where you can find the Planning Genie and have magical conversations to create a life you love as well. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.